Hello everyone and welcome back to 9 to 5 2. Of course, it is our second best of 3 series of the day about to get underway between the Big Academy and the IZAKO Boars. It is set to be a very intense matchup, all things considered, and a rather balanced affair, perhaps similar to what we saw in the last series. My name is Protalis and talking you through it with me is Kremer.
Again, I hope you guys are all having a wonderful day. And Big Academy and IZAKO Boars, it's a matchup we've seen happen quite a lot. They've played against each other a fair few times recently in, I believe, NINEtoFIVE. I think Big Academy were able to take it away, though, with the victory in that best of 1. We'll have to see, though, if IZAKO Boars are able to come back with a vengeance. Of course, we've got the lineups on screen with you now, as we should be transitioning to the knife round, again, very, very soon.
It does look like we do have our game just about ready to go for you, ladies and gentlemen. So we will be getting underway with this veto then. Mirage, the first ban from IZAKO Boars, and Vertigo, the ban of the Big Academy. Train, our opening map of the day, picked by the Polish side, and Overpass selected by the Germans as our second. That leaves Nuke as the third and final as a decider. A slightly different start to this series, but perhaps the same end.
Absolutely, and again, Big Academy have a relative success on, same for Nuke, and IZAKO Boars, I haven't really seen them too much on Overpass. I suspect that Big are going to be very happy with this veto.
I think so as well. They are maps that do slightly lean in towards Big's favour. And as a side who, as the Academy side, a younger side of a squad who are currently the best team in the world, I'm sure they have some people from looking to look up to, and the infrastructure behind them, supporting them, should be relatively strong, at least going forward. And with the edge in this veto, you would certainly be expecting them to be happy with how things have turned out. It might be a bit of a battle on train for the guys at the Big Academy, but either way, it is going to be an intense one when all things are said and done. And it looks like we almost have the game ready and underway to go for you, ladies and gentlemen. Both sides just setting up with the knife round now to decide who gets the pick, and both are going to be looking for that easier CTC. We'll have to see which side is able to win it out between Crazy... Oh, and Level Up. That's not quite the correct two teams that we're playing against at the moment.
Друзья, ну вот у нас уже началась вторая игра Big против Level Up. Big против IZAKO Boars. Просто еще не обновился хрень всех. Big против IZAKO Boars. Хочу попросить подписаться на канал. Всем большое спасибо.
And well, you look at the recent scenarios between these two sides, the maps that they've been playing on, and Train definitely the favourite one for the IZAKO Boars here, and they've just come off the back of a best-of-3 victory against Alternate Attacks, who are rather a strong German side, and perhaps one that could outperform the Big Academy even here. And as the higher ranked side in this individual matchup, you should be expecting the guys from the IZAKO Boars to be able to take it with their experience, but it's the high fragging potential of players like Crimbo that are really dangerous for the Big side.
Absolutely, and again, we look at the statistics on Train. At the moment, IZAKO Boars boasting a 50% win rate, whereas Big only with 33, and so it will be interesting just to see how, well, again, they're playing against a similar pool of teams as well, so it'll be interesting to see just how they respond to each other on this map. Of course, Big, a team that doesn't really shy away from that double AWP setup, so I do absolutely expect to see Big trying to get that early momentum and trying to capitalize off it. As IZAKO Boars just holding firm. We're actually going to see Shane pushing up from behind. If he's able to get there quick enough, he might be able to stop any further push. Excellent's going to take that point in contact. Avis himself also going to be fighting until find that first player. The trade is there from Crimbo. Shane and Exus, though, taking down some remaining players. Shane, the backstab comes in. Exus, the remaining bullet, will find Crimbo as Panics will take down Shane before falling on back. 1 versus 3, he'll swing wide from Pop Dog before losing his head to Shui. And IZAKO Boars taking it 1-0.
Indeed, they do. Shuey getting it done at the end there, and they clean up that pistol relatively convincingly. The Big Academy not looking like they had much of an opportunity to get going in that one, and now they look for just the Glocks and a couple of flashbangs to make it work in the second as they look ahead towards the third for their full buy. That means these MP9s have a nice opportunity to farm up the bonus cash for the side of the IZAKO Boars, and the one and only heading over up towards the back of B, seeing if he can get anything done, but has to retreat for the moment for fear of being overwhelmed by these pistols. 5 HP, enough to force his retreat into the defending crosshair of Exus.
Yeah, and that 2K was all he needed. The AUG there to support him from Exus as well, and Aris, both players just tapping down what they can. Tao actually doing a fairly good job to hide rather than even fight, wanting to hold on to that MP9 and armor. Bear in mind, he keeps his head armor because he was just dinged. And so we're going to see Big now going into their full buy. Tao able to hold on to that MP9 armor. Shane holding on to his MP9 as well. As IZAKO Boars look to play a bit of a bonus against Big at the moment. We will see an AWP in the hands of Crimbo. Again, we've seen him really light up the Big Academy in recent games. Let's see if he can keep that momentum, as it looks like he's going to go for a very quick peek towards A main. Swing comes out, the flash goes out, and IZAKO Boars though not going for pop fill control. Otherwise, that could have proven to be deadly for them.
Certainly could. They take a heavy amount of utility damage, at least peaking it in the early instances, and jumping like that is an incredible risk indeed. Panix is actually going to fall down off the back of it with the AWP, and Process is the next to fall to Exus's Org. This is working out brilliantly right now for the IZAKO Boars, and it takes 3 kills before Crimbo is able to reply for 1 for the Big Academy. Either way, it's the double man advantage now firmly in the Polish side's favor, and Anowin is trying to aggress up Ivy here, but so much work would need to be done, and Avis looks to expect his positioning and finds the kill with the FAMAS as well.
Absolutely, and Crimbo now being that last player, 1 versus 4, as he looks to maybe hold on to it. There is actually a flank coming in from Avis as well. From Ivy, he is going to have to try and hold them. Blink comes forward, he'll try and tag down what he can. And Shuey actually falling to 40% HP. Avis able to find him, and IZAKO Boars make it 3 in relative ease. Again, those trades going back and forth, working perfectly for them. As Big, unfortunately, unable to get that opening. We see that initial pick from Exus there working perfectly in his favor as Panix gets taken down.
The great start to the IZAKO Boars, who are, of course, the likely side to have picked the map into this. It was their pick, of course, with the Big Academy picking Overpass, and, well, perhaps we're seeing why at the start of this one. At the very minimum, they're looking comfortable at the start, and even though we've only seen, 3 or so rounds of this, they've been very convincing. The Big Academy struggling, even in that gun round, to find any way into the A-bomb site, and here it looks like these IZAKO Boars are just cleaning it up even further. This AK in a little bit of danger to these pistols, but cleaning them up enough as Shen finds the third and Shuey with the fourth. 4-0 start for the IZAKO Boars now as Big. They look for their second buy of the half. It's coming through in round 5, and the question now has to be, when are the Big Academy going to put a point on the board?
Absolutely, and well, hopefully this will be it for them. We see them with this full buy, AKs and armor in hand. They do have the utility to back it up as well. We do see that AWP actually in the hand of Panix rather than Crimbo. It looks like they might favor this fast play to come out from A main, and that we do. Push comes forward, Hades leading the charge. He's going to be spotted instantly. Avis taking down one, Sui finding one of his own. And Big now, 3 players remaining as Exus takes down Panix, and Annuin and Crimbo going to be these remaining 2 players, and this push out of A main just not working at all for Big Academy. IZAKO Boars going to have to, well, maintain their lead here. Again, looking at their economy, Tao with almost 9k. He hasn't seen a single bit of action yet, as he's only expended a single smoke going into this.
It's rough. It's really rough for the Big Academy. 2 gun rounds, and in both of them they try for some kind of contact. They lose heavily in the opening gunfights as the IZAKO Boars just seem to have a firing range set up there on A and are capable of dispatching pretty much all of the T's. The one and only spotted Crimbo now over on the B site and cleaned him up as well. Anowin, the only man who can contest this A site now. He's got the bomb in his sights, but 5 players to find and his team absent money. He has an AK, but even that on its own might not be enough to save into the next round. Finds an opening kill, and with that, may want to retreat.
Absolutely, we're going to see him full on back. Anyone now going to be able to hold on to that orb with 20 seconds left. His only hope is to hold on to that orb. And IZAKO BOARS actually kind of showing a bit of want to maybe hunt him down. We see Shui pushing down from B main, and he'll tear the head clean off of Anyuin there. IZAKO BOARS make it 5-0 in a very convincing fashion, having only got 5 deaths over the course of 5 rounds, as their economy is going to skyrocket.
It absolutely is. In 2 full gun rounds, a couple of the big academy players yet to frag. Both Process and Hades seemingly just taken down straight away before they can get anything done. And now it's the pistols and armor, and with it, perhaps a change of pace for the younger academy side. They are taking the pistols over towards B, which is the domain of the one and only. He hasn't upgraded his Kevlar, which means a couple of pistol bullets might just wipe it out and overwhelm him, make him a bit more susceptible to damage. We'll just have to see whether that actuates or not in this.
Absolutely, Tao. We're going to be sure to be. He'll get that initial contact spotted before falling on away. And I really like this. Rather than staying and fighting, he is just going to run. He's going to call for his teammates. And look how far back he's going. He's going all the way down towards upper, knowing that he can take the range with that M4 in his hands. The set piece comes out from Big now. And Nexus just going to chuck that molly to do a bit of damage as the push comes out. Follow-up will come through as well. And Big looking to try and get back line control.
Yes, plant the bomb. And perhaps the issue for these pistols on the academy side, Shui's in the back flanking them as well, and they're not even going to get the bonus cash here. They tried to go too aggressively hunting for rifles, and they're not even going to get the economic boon of the plant. Crimbo finds 1 at the death of the round. It's 6-0 already. This is a much faster start than we saw in the previous series, and the big academy, they're in serious trouble. They've really not found much success or even a bomb plant yet.
Absolutely, and again, Big, they went too heavy on kills there. They were going too aggressive, and it didn't allow them to get that plant. A great flank from Shui as well to get 3 for himself. A 2-man spray down we saw there. And Big, again, 6 rounds and only able to find 6 kills total. As we can see, IZAKO BOARS actually aggressing Ivy as well, getting control around the map. Tao going with an aggressive setup on B as well. Push comes forward, Exus finding that first player. And Tao just falling on away. Avis now going to be shifting forward from Ivy. He'll be spotting Crimbo, he'll take him down. And IZAKO BOARS, a 2-man advantage. Process has been able to get out of main. The push comes out. However, it looks like they might be wary for him. At the wrong point, Shane finds Anyuin. Process being tagged down as well. He needs to be careful now. Use that lone player. That nade's going to almost take him down, actually. He'll somehow survive, but he is swarmed like locusts over a fresh carcass, as IZAKO BOARS make it 7-0. And Big, they need to find something, and they need to find something quick. They also looking irely against them right now, as they're forced onto another poor buy.
They are beyond struggling at this point in time. They are doing nothing in their gun rounds. They're barely even finding damage. They're not finding kills. They're just being picked off one by one, either by this double AWP setup that now the IZAKO BOARS have to hand, or by the rifles and the utility. Whatever the big academy are attempting, this Polish squad are shutting it down at every opportunity. They are dominating every single gunfight. And since you said it in the last round, it's stuck in my head. The entire big academy side has only found 6 kills in this whole map so far. Hades would be making the difference there and upping it to 7 total if he found Shui, but he's been taken down. It's absolute insanity at the moment. An 8-0 lead. It's pure dominance. And as the timeout comes through from the big academy, we have the opportunity to talk about esports millions. If you check out the Esports Bible's pinned tweet on Twitter, you have a chance to win a Main Gear gaming PC. All you have to do is retweet and participate in Esports Millions. The second round is now live, and this time Unicorn are offering everyone who participates the chance to win a Main Gear Vibe Stage 3 gaming PC. The top 50 answers will also share $5,000 worth of Unicorn bets. This is all just a lead up to the €1 million giveaway during Cups 3 and 4. Anyone who answers all 10 questions correctly will win the life-changing prize. No hoax, no scam. Get involved at ukrn.io/esports millions. I even like this from the Big Academy here. They've called the double tactical timeout. They need the severe momentum breaker, and they need to have a back to basics discussion. This is not like whatever we're trying isn't working. This is wherever we're going, we are being decimated.
Absolutely, and again, just they've done so little to IZAKO Boards. Look at their economy. That's 14, 15k on 4 of their players. Avis, the only player who doesn't really have that much, but that's subjective. He's still got 9k. That's more than the entire Big Academy added together. And, you know, we're going to see a bad buy come out of them. It will be the odd AK here and there. But Hades, you know, actually upgrades now. It will be a full buy coming out from them, as Panic's going to be holding that up, as opposed to Crimbo, which makes me think that maybe Crimbo isn't feeling it today, as Big facing the prospect of being maybe tilted, as we see these younger teams really, really heavily momentum based, and if IZAKO Boards have done anything, it's shatter that momentum.
I'm not sure whether Crimbo has taken the responsibility of warping duties for his team on train. He had it in the first round, but since then it's always been in Panic's hands. Perhaps he's more comfortable. Look at that. That is just a perfect little microcosm of the dominance. Look at it. It's still going. He's got a smoke out, and he's not dead. What is going on? He's just been allowed a quad kill. That is the most ridiculous play I think I've ever seen in my entire life. Quad kill into T-Con, and if that doesn't show you just how dominant the IZAKO Boars have been, I don't know what will.
And that kind of shows it all, doesn't it? Like, if you wanted a round to show you how this game is going, that's it. So that double molly, allowing Shui to just get 2 very quick kills. You know, the third with the help of a flash, but that 4th kill shouldn't have happened. That absolutely should not have gone in his favor. As when he saw him aggress as well, he had a smoke out. He wasn't even shifting. You would have heard the steps as he shuffled around to pick up that AK, and just, it's harrowing for Big. We see them go on to just Tech 9s and Armor now, so they accelerate towards B, but Exus is going to find Anuan to open up. Shui's going to hit all of this. Tao's going to drop that smoke. I'll drop that molly. He'll find one. He'll find a second. The third's barreling him down. The Orp's there to support him. Panics does find one. At one point, it's just become Constellation. Swing comes forward. Shui again. He's been so good on this flank as well. Crimbo being forced out by that molly. Exus is waiting for him as Panics falls to Abyss, and IZAKO Boars find their 10th in a game that has only really been 15 minutes long, but IZAKO Boars have almost closed it out. 10-0. They lead against Big Academy.
They've upped their kill count to 8 as well now, you'll be happy to know, in total. That is insane. That's insane. In 10 rounds, the IZAKO Boars have found 5 kills in all of them. IZAKO Boars have had 50 kills so far in this map, compared to 8 from the Big Academy side. What is happening? These players cannot get anything done. They are completely perplexed, it appears, on train, and need some serious work on it, because this is one of the most severe just decimations I've ever seen. I've not seen a more dominant performance at the start of train, I don't think.
Absolutely, and this is just unheard of. To be a 16-0 is bad, or the potential of a 16-0 is bad, but at the rate it's happening, and just how categorically destroyed Big Academy are. As IZAKO Boards now, they're going to flash into full control. Shui's going to leave a charge. He'll find Hades, and just like that, Big losing players left, right, and center. As Avis now going to be holding Ivy, waiting for that swing to come on through. Flash goes off. Orb shot doesn't quite hit, but Exus is there. You know, Exus is ready. He'll find a second as well. And Panic's being that lone member with 9 HP. Take on the entirety of Big. Shui takes him down with a spam. And IZAKO Boards 11-0. This is... I feel uncomfortable watching this. Just how ruined Big Academy are becoming right now. IZAKO, and credit where credit's due, IZAKO Boards have been playing out their minds, you know. Their utility usage has been, if not good, then flawless. And, you know, we see Shane that flashed in, and Shui, you know, he's got a free kill. He's just opening it up, and he's just tearing apart Big Academy right now.
It's peaks like that from Exus that just prove to you They know the Big Academy side aren't getting any kills. They are confidently taking whatever peak they want to at this point, and it's working out the vast majority of the time. Look at the utility damage again at the start of this round. But this could be a better start for Big at least. They have the opening advantage. Crimbo's found a kill. Could the curse be broken as he runs into smoke now? That's a lot of space to work with, and the one and only's given his position away. Reloads at the wrong time, and finally overconfidence perhaps gets the better of the IZAKO boards. It looks to be a round one by the Big Academy, but Arviz is still alive with an AWP in a 1 versus 3. Big have been having a nightmare so far. I wouldn't put him out of it.
Absolutely, and you know, we've seen the confidence he must have, and it must be growing even more as he goes into this. If he gets this player on oil, if he gets the player on the flank, then it's looking so good for him at the moment. He'll be taken down. Big will make it 1, but at what point does it become futile? As again, they've got 13 kills total, and that's almost less than 1 kill a round. As IZAKO boards, that loss doesn't even begin to scathe their money. And Big Academy now, to say they have a mountain to climb is just an understatement.
You're absolutely right. I mean, if this is what they're like on the T side, when they can work together, when they can push with trade fraggers and try and, you know, have advantageous gunfights that are with the man advantage in your favor, what are they going to be like on the CT side when they just have to wait and hold angles that the IZAKO boards are walking into? They're already being trampled by aggression, and they're on the T side at the moment. Look at this from Exus. This is the confidence from the Poles at the moment. Look how far this AWP is willing to aggress, and it might just be rewarded as well. First kill, but can't get the second. Nearly, ever so nearly, but it's just more mess made for this Big Academy side.
And I tell you what, this could potentially be signs of life from Big Academy. We do see them a very fast trade from Hades there. That smoke will land towards Tunnel 1, preventing Avis to use that AWP effectively on Ivy. As the smoke goes off, the push comes through, and actually Big Academy choosing to commit to a take rather than a B take for some reason. Avis will find Crimbo, process smoke in the distance, Avis taking him down, and any like glimmer of a little bit of flicker of fire from Big Academy just gets stomped out by IZAKO boards. And Hades' barrel of his gun has been spotted in Pop Dog as well. Panic's now going to be one of the lone players. Avis takes down Hades. It's all Panic's. He'll find one, but Sui able to trade. And IZAKO boards 12-1 now as they lead against Big Academy.
Well, listen, the Academy guys, they're going in the right direction. They're getting kills now, which is a damn sight more than they were getting in the first 11 rounds of this map. They just need to, well, start getting more of them now, and preferably start converting those kills into 1 rounds as well. I don't even know if in their own minds here they're already looking over to overpass. This is just such a dominant start that I don't know how you can mentally recover from just being overwhelmed so greatly. There are virtually no positives to take forward. That's the issue. Your team has just lost 95% of the gunfights in this map. I don't know how you can try and convert or find something to work with in this map.
Absolutely, and we're going to see Big now. They're going to be playing a bit passive. It looks like they're going to try and get Pop Dog control before heading back to what could potentially be an A split. Actually, as they come back up, it looks like it's more likely going to be B. As, again, just what do you do if you're Big against this lineup? Because everything they've tried fast plays, they tried slow plays, they tried contacts, they tried splits, they tried just straight B rushes. None of it works. And again, Avis finding Anuin in Ivy. That's any flank on whatever site they choose is just gone. Rimbo now coming out of Pop Dog. He might be able to make it just a little bit further than at least his teammate did. But what can you do? That flash goes down, the push comes back up. And it will be a B-take Tau. He's had a relatively quiet game, not because he's done anything wrong, but because, well, they've just been melting. IZAKO boards' teammates have had all the kills. 30 seconds left now, the push comes through, and that smoke is just heartbreaking for Big Academy. It's perfect. Swing comes forward. Exus finding one, Tau finding another. Hades able to trade, but the remaining 2 players from Big Academy are nowhere near the bomb. They're just going to, well, actually, they do have the bomb. They're going to drop down in towards Pop Dog. 20 seconds left. They're going to be spotted by Shane. And it's just going to be open season for IZAKO boards. The push comes forward. Shane takes down Process. Panic's able to trade. Shui finds him, and IZAKO boards make it 13-1 against Big Academy.
Absolutely ridiculous ridiculous scenes at the moment, and the Big Academy, they did go B at one point in time, although it was through A in a full gun round, and it was the round that they ended up winning and planting on that B bomb site. And I do agree with you on that point, actually. Outside of the one round that they won, the only 2 times they hit that B site were with pistols or when they were on an eco. Otherwise, they've just been trying to smash into A every single time and struggling greatly indeed. Shui does enough damage with the rifle spam there to nearly convert as well, who's only on 1 HP, but panics. He's got the next kill of the round, not before falling in that Molotov, and Arvis has all the time in the world to find the kill he's looking for. It's messy trades in the round and 2 orcs left alive to defend. That no-scope was a definitely hopeful shot, to say the least, and it leaves Exus in a 1-on-2.
Absolutely, and I just wouldn't rule Exus out of this. He's had a great game so far. He finds Anuan. Panics now, 1 versus 1. And Exus, honestly, he seems pretty confident with this. Or not. Next round behind will execute him. IZAKO BOARS 13-2. They lead against Big Academy, and I say Big Academy was showing some signs of life at the end there. It's kind of subjective because they only had about 7 kills in 9 rounds, and towards the end they were actually killing IZAKO BOARS. So this map can be closed out very, very quickly. IZAKO BOARS going on to that pistol round of the T side, and Big Academy need something. Well, they need a Hail Mary and they need it to work.
They certainly do. They obviously win 2 rounds on kills, so that's 10-free. And then outside of that, they only get 12 throughout the half. That's less than 1 kill a round on average outside of the rounds that they've won, which is just absolutely ridiculous. Even in rounds you're losing, you should be claiming more than 1 kill in those scenarios. That just really shows you how much they were being dominated in that half. The IZAKO BOARS in this round want to utilize utility to crack into the A-bomb site, it looks like, as they are setting up, but Anuin has found Exus very early on. He's one of the armored players, so it's not too risky in terms of utility him falling, but it means heavy lifting has to be done by these unarmored Glocks.
As the set piece comes out, this is going to be covered by IZAKO BOARS. They push forward. Hades finding one of his own, actually. As the tap continues coming down, Hades finding another. And this is looking much better. Avis finding one. Avis trying to tap down another. As the taps ring out, he'll take him down, but Process able to trade. And Big Academy finding their third, which is exactly what they need.
I would be very unsurprised if the IZAKO BOARS forced into this round, despite not getting a bomb plant. They're just so confident coming in from the first half. If they want to eco as well and go for the slightly weaker buy in the next round, there's no issue with that either, but it looks like they would rather bring the pistols forward here and now. Deagles and Tech 9s, and I would absolutely not count them out of this. I've yet to see how effective they are when they are at an economic disadvantage, as have any of us, but they've certainly been having excellent aim at the moment, and I wouldn't count them out of this round.
Absolutely, and again, I think Avis may have been spotted towards Ivy there, and Andy went straight through that smoke, tears his head clean off. Push comes forward though, Exus fighting, panics. Hades able to trade, Process doing his bit as well, as Anuin saving his teammate. Shui able to trade onto Process. That Deagle trying to ring out, however, not much to be found. As Hades takes him down, Big, make it 4.
Well, eventually, they have started to string a couple of rounds together. They should have 3 in a row at a bare minimum here, the Big Academy, but they're going to have to show me something seriously impressive if they want to inspire my faith into them being able to win out their opponent's map pick here. It's to the point where that first half performance was so dominant, I'm still worried for the Big Academy over on Overpass right now, because it's just been such a dominant affair from the IZAKO BOARS. They have no guns available, which is why they're losing these rounds, but Chewy already found a crazy kill onto Hades. He's looking for more at range, eventually punished. And only one more of the Deagles actually has any body armor to work with. This was expected to be a Big Academy round, and at least the IZAKO BOARS have made it somewhat expensive. A couple of kills earned, forcing reinvestment. And this now is the real test for the Germans. If they can outclass IZAKO BOARS in a full gun round, maybe I'll have faith in their ability to survive.
Absolutely. And Exus is going to be the man to watch. He's had a very strong CT side, especially with that up. We'll have to see what opening he can find if he goes for that A main peak, and or what other peaks he chooses to face. As looks like the swing will come wide. Process now going to be that point of contact. However, Exus being mollied out of position as Process actually making noise. Looks like he wants to come up from Pop Dog. He will be heard very, very quickly. That's how, forcing any peek away. Shui seeing what he can spot as well. As Process found by Shui there, as he made noise on that ladder. I'm surprised he committed to it, actually. Even after making so much noise on the ladder. Hades going to join Pop Dog, hoping to pick up the stack where Process died.
Crimbo's going to go aggressive up towards back B. That is not the right call for Big Academy. Hades now feels pressure from Pop Dog, so he's going to push up to try and flank, but there is a flank of the flank on the way as well. It just depends on how much damage he can deal. Finds the one and only, but gets taken down. That's not enough, really, from his position. He needed to do more, and it's Anowin and Panics now. One player on either bomb site. It has to be Anowin on the B site with this AUG to try and hold a defense.
Absolutely. And we're going to see that set piece go out towards that B site. Point of contact will be Anowin. Let's see what he can find. Swing wide will take molly damage. He'll take down that first player. 12 HP. He'll fall to Exus. And Panics now is on the wrong bomb site, with only an AWP and a dream to even attempt to come back into this.
Looking like a rough one from his point of view. He knows he just has to slink off into the shadows and save that sniper. 14-5 scoreline, all but confirmed for the Polish squad in map 1, and they'll be looking to convert as quickly as possible. The CT economy not particularly flush, but if this AWP is saved, they might just have enough cash to drop and get some kind of a buy together to deny map point.
Absolutely, and we're going to see Panics just trying to say that he might find the odd AK in the hands of Shane as he falls on back. That bomb will go off. Actually, Exus trying his luck with him. However, they will come through. IZAKO BOARS at 14, looking to hit match point in just 20 rounds.
Indeed, if they could do that, that would be seriously impressive.
Absolutely.
Just pure dominance.
Yeah, absolutely. We're going to see the buy from IZAKO BOARS. It's that to be desired. Process only with a deagle. We're going to be an MP9 in the hands of Hades. The double up setup on Crimbo and Panics, though. We'll have to see what they can get done with it. And Exus, actually, rather than going for this fast peek towards the Pop Dog cross, he looks like he wants to hold the top of red. And that might be to his detriment as the push comes in to a main. He's actually wary of it. However, he's able to fall on back.
Very nearly finds some tag damage through the wall as well. Process up close, just about as expected by Shane at close range. And now it's the 5-on-4 in the favour of the IZAKO BOARS. That wall bang, desperation by the sounds of things, but no damage being found just yet. And the 2 AWPs still alive for the Big Academy. That is the silver lining to the cloud of this current match. And there we are. It's just been converted into perhaps a little bonus as Panics finds an opening kill, tries to tie it back up, and Exus has not peeked tight left, and that loses the T side its AWP. Now, the bomb has a serious question as to where it wants to commit. The AWP of Panics has already rotated over to defend with Crimbo on the B bomb site, and Arviz, he's found one entry on A despite his team being at a man disadvantage. Now Hades has taken him down. It looks like this might not be over just yet. The one and only whiffing that spray down, and there's an AWP waiting to take him down at close range. Big Academy not out of it just yet.
Absolutely, and I'm a bit curious to see what that push was from Shui there. That molly landed in Pop Dog and he just ran straight through it wide towards a main. I think Avis from behind didn't quite spot that player in the corner, and it did play into his detriment, as Big, from denying information to IZAKO BOARS, has been able to win that. Maybe not as that being their primary intention, but they do make it 6, and IZAKO BOARS are going to be on pistols now. Will just be deagles here and there, as yeah, Big Academy absolutely lined up to find their 7th now.
Just taking the eco are the Boars. They have time to work with and the rounds as well, and they're actually taking the opening kills. Crimbo's tried to get aggressive, and look at this. Shui's all the way into B with an AWP in hand. If his team was close enough, they might just have been able to move in. He's finding more kills with this AWP. Glass cannon, he can still deal damage. Look at that. Shui, triple kill in the round. Bomb quickly making its way over towards the B site, and this could still be map point here for the IZAKO BOARS.
Absolutely, and they're still showing signs of life. IZAKO BOARS working amazingly on that B site, all in the hands of Shui there. An amazing 3K, allowing them to get an extremely good hold on this B site, as From behind, AD is able to find Avis, but that AWP is still running rampant in the hands of Shui, and he's ready for that peak to come on towards upper. Jump comes up. Unfortunately, the timing isn't there. Hades able to take him down, but Shane right behind him, able to take down Hades now. 1 versus 1, the AWP duel against Panics. The tap comes through. The shot rings out. Panic scopes in, knowing for a fact that it's a fake. However, as a wiggle peek comes through, Shane falling. The defuse will come on around, and Big Academy finds 7. 14-7 now. IZAKO BOARS lead against them.
A slight mistake there at the end from Shane. He'd already beaten Panics off the bomb, rather, baited him off. But he just wasn't aware of it. Because he was just doing that little jiggle peek, he didn't know that Panics had committed away from the defuse at that point. So he had to keep going for it. He had to keep trying to bait those shots out. And eventually, Panics landed one of them and secured the round. No map point yet, but a great chance to earn it in this one. They make it very expensive for the Big Academy, despite a win, which could drain the bank in the event of a loss here and make a great situation for an early win. Shui, this man is ridiculous over towards the B bomb site, entering time and time again.
And Shui's kind of decided enough's enough. We see him just dive out onto B there, tearing that up, clean out the hands of Panics there.
Oh,
and actually, Grimbo bumping into those players as they come out on B. I'm not quite sure if they were ready for it, as this could be amazing or a curse, because as they get out, there's going to be a follow-up player coming from main, and that could be absolutely deadly for him. Grimbo finds 1, Grimbo finds 2, and that's all he's needed to do. Two-man advantage now, as Grimbo finds a 3rd onto Shui. That molly goes down onto that bomb, forcing anyone out of position. The follow-up molly goes down as well. Avis now going to be there to support any push as well. Exus with another molly. If that lands on the bomb site, Grimbo actually falling to his own utility there. Exus takes down Hades. This could absolutely be awful.
There's 4 Molotovs on the T side. How on earth have they won the round like that? Surely not. They actually can't get close enough to the bomb. That's it all done. That is it all done with 4 Molotovs on the T side, with 2 players just dumping flames onto the bomb, and the Boars get it done.
That is just heartbreaking. 3 Molotovs from IZAKO BOARS there was all it took to allow themselves to hit 15, and Crimbo there falling to his own molly. As Big Academy, they must be kicking themselves after that, to be 4-2 up, to have site control, and to just falter at that last possible moment. As they are going to be on just scouts, and Avis is already out on main. He's tapping down that scout player. He's just taking angels all around the map. Tau and Shui, Exus and Tau all find kills. It's all on Crimbo now. 1 versus 5. He'll drop. He'll take down Shui, but that might be all he finds. He's going to continue pushing on around, trying to get the odd kill, but Shane finds his head and secures IZAKO BOARS. That first map, 16-7. They take it against Big Academy.
And it's a rather dominant performance as well, especially on that CT side. And when you think about it, 3 of the rounds that IZAKO BOARS lost in that scoreline is because of losing the pistol and the conversion. So as we look ahead to Overpass as our second map, perhaps the Big Academy might be in trouble. Can they stabilize and try and fight back for the series in that map? We'll have to see right after this break.
Initialize booting. These are your targets. You must find, capture and contain them until extraction vehicle arrives. Witnesses are irrelevant. Leave them unharmed if you can. End of a transmission. system online.
Hello everyone and welcome back to 9to5 2. Map 2 of the Big Academy versus IZAKO BOARS is underway. The knife round looking to be won by the Polish side, who claimed victory there on train in dominant fashion on their own map pick, and now look to close out this series 2-0 and secure themselves that playoff spot with a 3-1 record. My name is Protalis, and joining me to talk you through the remainder of this series is, of course, Kremer. How are you doing?
I'm doing very well, thank you. And again, I want to highlight last game. IZAKO BOARS just dominated Big Academy for the opening about 15 rounds. It was just utter, unfiltered destruction on Big Academy. They only got a couple of kills for every round, not even one kill at times, for every round IZAKO BOARS got. It was just one of the most one-sided halves I've seen in my life. But Big Academy, come into the second half, they was able to get 7 rounds. They were able to make it a lot more respectable than what it initially saw. And so I'm curious to see if Big Academy are able to maybe use that glimmer of hope and show it in this map here of Overpass.
Well, the Big Academy have beaten some relatively strong opponents here on Overpass, and it's a map you tend to see teams specialize in or avoid, so perhaps a good prospect for the big side here, as they're dealing decent damage early on, and they've even found a kill, but Shane down onto just 3 HP, looking to deal more damage, and is unfortunately unable to do so. That leaves the Boars at the man disadvantage for now, and Shane's so low over on that A bomb site. He's going to need the help of his teammates, such as the one and only in Connector.
Absolutely, and Tao needs to go huge. He'll spot that player, and unfortunately those aren't the kills he needs, as he'll full on back. And Big Academy with a man advantage, with an HP advantage, look to pressure him down in Connector, maybe pushing back down towards this B site. As Tao is wary for it, he hears them drop. However, that door doesn't open. It's a fake, as it will fall down to Shane now. He only has 3 HP. Tao will fall as the door opens as well. So Shane, 3 HP is all he's going to have to defend this A site, and unfortunately, he gambles the wrong site. He's going to rotate down towards B, ready for that short push. Maybe baiting for Avis. However, as that smoke goes down, the push comes forward from Big Academy. 30 seconds left now, and they're going to be able to get that plant, and Shane, realizing he's been had, and a single tick from that molly is going to destroy him. He needs to be careful with it. Again, with only 3 HP, what can you do? He peeks on up. He'll spot that player jumping up from truck. However, there's not much more he's going to be able to get done. Taps continuing to come through. Avis will fall to Hades, as Shane now 1 versus 4, 3 HP, and with not much hope at all.
Very unlikely that he'll be able to get anything done at the end of this one. 1 bullet away from death, but he's still allowed a kill. Eventually, Hades secures it, and it goes the favor of the Big Academy. And if I was a betting man, I'd say this one is probably going to go to a 3-map series. Even though the IZAKO BOARS have a decent enough win rate here on Overpass, it's against slightly lower tier opposition. And the Big Academy, meanwhile, just look like they're on a strong run of form on this map. This is their opportunity to stabilize and take us to a map 3 and prove they do have something to show us in this series as well, because that first map didn't really get to see much brilliance from them.
Absolutely, and you know, we're going to see a push come out from a main here. It is going to be a bit of a force from IZAKO BOARS as well. Shane, scout in hand. I think he saw only 2 players cross. That third might catch him off guard. Panic's going to swing wide. He'll be that point of contact. Actually, Shane looking to fight for it. Panics will be tagged down, and he is able to fall away. Actually, I'll say that. He'll be taken down by Panics eventually. Tao trading onto Process, though. That's a great dig. Finding his head relatively nicely. Hades trading onto Avis as well. As Chewy now going to be that lone player to defend this B site. That Deagle rings out. The players from Big are being tagged down, however. Might be enough. Tao coming in from long as well. The flank coming through. However, Panics is holding for him.
This is the risk. It's all about timing. He has to get it right, and Panics has just spotted him but not been able to get the kills. So they have to hold and wait, and I think this should leave the big players expecting there to be more at close range. It's whiff shots early from Exus, but he can still stabilize if he can land them. He's dealt more damage onto this T side, but they've got the kill back onto the one and only, and now Shui in the A bomb site has to go huge. Close range, can't get the kill, and they're all tagged up, but Exus would have to be brilliant with this pistol.
Absolutely, he'll be taken down by Hades, and Big Academy make it 2. And looking at their HP as well, they've been tagged down relatively low for this. And, you know, they had to work for this round as IZAKO BOARS still showing signs of life. We are going to see them going to be ecoing this fully. It will be a bit of a bonus to be played. We're going to see Panics bring out that Mac 10. We'll have to see the same happens with Crimbo. Instead, he'll hold on to that. He'll upgrade to a rifle. Panics that only player with a Mac 10. And IZAKO BOARS choosing to snack this B site. And I absolutely agree with this play. We see Big Academy actually choosing to go B as well. It might be a fairly well-read round by IZAKO BOARS. The shift push comes out. Execute comes through, and the push to follow. Panic's going to be leading the charge. He'll be flashed out of position. Shane finding one. The trade by Hades will come through. The follow-up being found as well. Panic's finding two of his own. Hades finding one more. As it all falls down to Tower now. 1 versus 4. Grimbo tears his head off. And Big Academy make it 3-0.
To be expected with that first pistol victory, and this timeout gives us a chance to talk about Unicorn, who have the most CSGO betting options of anyone in the world. You can join Unicorn today to get 80 euros of bets from a 20 euro deposit. Bet on yourself in CSGO pubs, bet on pro teams, or fresh esports matches 24/7, even when events are offline. Unicorn won Esports Bookmaker of the Year in 2019. Find out why today with your 300% first deposit bonus using code RELOG, RELOG. And that is the opener going in the Big Academy's favor. Now we have the chance to see whether this is going to be another dominant performance from the Germans, or whether this Polish side has some practice here on Overpass as well. Exus has his AWP with armor to boot. There's only one kit on the Boars side, but they have a healthy amount of utility to work with.
Absolutely, and Big Academy now going to, well, actually lose that opening pick. Exus taking him down. We saw Exus, especially on train, having a blinder of the game. We'll have to see if he's able to convert that form into Overpass, as IZAKO BOARS going for a one-man advantage and take very little damage in return. Well, actually, no damage in return, as Process picking up that AWP, going to be aggressing towards A just to make sure it's 100% clear. And IZAKO BOARS actually maybe overreacting, as we do see them full on back to what could potentially be a 4-man setup on B. As I say that as Tau comes all the way back up to A. But it does mean that for just the moment, Exus is somewhat alone.
He is indeed isolated on this angle. That has to make it the one and done. He's just got to fire off a shot and fall away to the defense of his teammates in the A-bomb site. This is a nightmarish round for the Big Academy to lose as well, because they just got dominated there on train, and heading into the first full gun round, that's your real test to see whether you're going to be competitive. And if they lose out in it, they might be set back perhaps mentally a little bit. There could be some ego damage there. And with 30 seconds left on the clock, they're under time pressure to pull off an execution.
Absolutely, and that smoke towards long will allow a bit of space to be made. Exus actually playing a bit of a shotgun AWP position. We saw him getting close there. Avis going to be on map as well to help out and push that comes through. With 15 seconds left now, Big need to execute, and they need to execute now. As the push comes through, I think Hades is going to make contact here. So he comes out, Process fighting one. Hades fighting one of his own. Tau able to trade. Process fighting a second onto Exus, and the site collapses. That's a beautiful execute from Big Academy there, working admirably in their favor, as Shui and Shane now going to be taking this 2 versus 3 retake. You have 2 flashes to allow them to push on out. We'll have to see to what extent they're able to use them. That first one flies high, Process turning away in time. And you've been fighting the first. Shane to trade. 1 versus 2 for Shane now as he continues pressuring that center site position. And going to be that lone player. He'll take down Shane. Big make it 4.
A much more promising start from them, and you're absolutely right with that execution. They work it perfectly. They just wait until the last 20 seconds, and then it just feels like they walk almost, unpressured. They felt like there was no time pressure whatsoever, even though there were only a few seconds left on the clock. Prozis was just able to walk in and dismantle everything the Boars had on defense. And now the Polish squad are back down to the pistols. I'm fairly confident in this big side on Overpass, especially now that we've seen they're performing well on the T side. If they can finish this half well, I'll be filled with more confidence. There's still time, however, for the IZAKO BOARS to come back into things.
Absolutely, and again, Big IZAKO BOARS with just Eagles. Big need to make this round relatively clean. they want to extend that economic lead further. 80 is the only real player with a large economy, 5.6 on him. Process having to go down to just 0 now. So any round, any gun they can hold on to would be favored. So the execution comes out towards mid. It will be taken by Anuan. Nexus going to be holding close behind that smoke though, maybe moving down towards Guardian, wanting to take the odds a bit of contact. However, it will be Avis who takes it. He finds Anuan, Process there to trade. That flash allows Exus to swing on with him, well, his own momentum there to try and trade. However, unable to find anything, panics. We'll find the repeat as Exus falls, goes into a man disadvantage. IZAKO Boards, they double up in toilets, waiting for the further push. However, it's not to come. Big Academy turning their attention towards this B site. Shui going to be the only player on the defense. And he won't even know he's defending the site until it might be a bit too late. He'll push forward towards tunnel. It looks like the timing might not be there. Panics going to swing wide. And contact's made. Shui pushing back down towards site. And he's realised that he's been had. These players have shifted up. Shui falling. Well, actually taking down one player before he falls back himself towards sandbags. Rotation comes on in. Shui doing a very good job just to stay alive at the moment. The flash goes down towards center site. Swing comes out from Shui. Process able to take him down. The follow-up goes through. Process fighting one of his own. Tao able to trade on to Crimbo. As he does fall down. Process fighting him. Process a 4K from him. As he does very well for Big Academy there. They make it 5. As they lead 5-0.
It is Hades and Process leading the way at the moment for the Germans, the young Germans at that. And the IZAKO Boars, they look like a completely different side on the CT of Overpass when comparing them to Train. At the start of the round, they seem to be doing what's right. They seem to be able to contest early for kills and keep it competitive, but then when it falls down to these late round executes, there's something missing a little bit. Aggression into the tunnels now. Hades around the corner awaits the swing and does well to find a 1 kill there and tag down Avis to just 29 HP, but it's still the advantage in the T side despite this aggression from the IZAKO Boars. A whiff shot from Exus as well has to make him retreat now off the back of that tag.
Absolutely. Avis is going to have an issue coming out of Connector as well with players all around him. Exus, a shot from Panics there to find Avis. Exus just not hitting its shots, and it's like we're seeing a different player to how we saw on Trent. That was unstoppable beforehand. As Exus now holding for Anuan to come up out of Connector.
The IZAKO Boar's the man behind. And just hold me have to do is drop one flash and probe a player in, and they'll find it's completely free. And in fact, they'll do just that. They'll rotate in for the execution. The CT rotation, the Big Academy, are stacking up outside Monster to charge straight in. Those CTs aren't going to get towards the correct site within the necessary time period to deny a bomb plant, and I don't even know if they really want to be committing here to the execution. They've gone for the boost, but the one and only nearly misses his opportunity. He finds 2 kills, in fact, and destroys the planter. What a time to recover the round.
That is a beautiful opening made by the one and only there. Crimbo going to swing wide. He'll take down Shane. 1 versus 2 for him now. He is against Tao, and with that, he'll take. He won't be able to take it. IZAKO Boar's able to find their first round with the helping of time. Big Academy now going to be facing the prospect of resetting IZAKO Boars.
This boost gets it all done. He nearly has too many targets to look for, but it's this spray down that's beautiful. The transfer at the end, just getting it done onto Panics and allowing the IZAKO Boars their first CT round of Overpass. They've scored in a much quicker time frame than their opponents scored against them on Train, but they do need to build some momentum going, as even though they won that round, their economy is still hurt.
Absolutely, and we're going to see IZAKO Boar's playing a bit more aggressive towards toilets here. Shane going to be pushing towards Close Monster as well. as the one and only going to be forced to fall on back. Crimbo be that point of contact on Monster, and actually it's like be a rock in hard place for Shane. A well-timed flash could spell the end for Big Academy, but will it come? That's where the smoke goes down. Crimbo finds one. The follow-up is there, though. Should be able to take him out. The follow-up spray, tagging down Crimbo as well. And the one and only now completely behind these players on Big Academy. Process turning around, however, it's too late. Tao will take him down. He peeks up towards Connector. He knows that A site is completely clear. Zanuin comes up. He'll be able to trade. Goes into a 3 versus 3 now, and the remaining players from IZAKO BOARS just going to be trapped on the site.
It looks like they want to send Exus up aggressively to try and flank in through Connector at the moment and arrive on B short to dismantle the execution, but he's been dissuaded from the idea and instead wants to just rotate in traditionally. Avis has found the first kill that he needs on the B bomb site, and Anuin and Crimbo now have very limited time to work with, just 25 seconds as they deploy a smoke and look to recover the bomb even. This could be a very difficult task indeed. They're still trying, but that missed shot from Crimbo should lock them out. Anuin has only 15 seconds to work with, and Shui can capitalize on that indeed. These IZAKO BOARS with their second now, and perhaps their third as the Big Academy look ahead to an eco.
Absolutely, and that was just what IZAKO BOARS needed. They've strung two together. They've been able to get a bit of an advantage, or they seem to have found what works. And of course, that was a great 90 degrees flick from Avis there to be spraying through the woods, just turn, finish off the player who swung him, then turn back to continue spraying. It will be a Mach 10 buy. It looks like it's going to be a very fast buy actually, as they accelerate towards this beef site. These Mach 10s going to prove to be deadly. That nade's pretty strong. However, it's not quick enough as push comes through. Avis finding one. Crimbo able to trade. The follow-up is there though. Avis finding a second. As MP9 from Shane continuing to do damage. As the swing comes all the way through, Shane finding two. Avis being pivotal for that round. Shane and Exus clean up the remaining push. And Avis, that was absolutely beautiful there. He only found 2 kills, but what mattered is that he did 80 damage to almost every single player in that round. And that just made it open season for the IZAKO BOARS. Big Academy now going to be forced onto just pistols as they go into round 9.
Indeed, they are, and this is the opportunity now for the fully tied scoreline. The IZAKO BOARS expected to win this one relatively easily, and then in the next gun round should be able to contest and attempt to tie things up. Another thing to note about Overpass as well is a map where CT side AWPers can reign supreme, so keep an eye on that Big Academy. Whoever's using the big green gun might be even more important to the side heading over into that second half. And now all Big are earning is damage as Shane has found 2 of them down towards Monster. The flash will deter him at least for the moment, but he'll turn back for 3, no problem. 4 as he hunts now for the ace. Process though is quite far away in order to give it to him.
Now with Avis having the final set of the round, IZAKO BOARS has a clean round. Shane, a great little 4K there, just tapping down through that monster smoke, and I like how even after the smoke fails, he's not scared to just keep fighting. Continuing to put pressure on that Big Academy side as IZAKO BOARS hit 4, and Big Academy going to go on a full buy. Panic's going to have that AWP in his hand as he'll be entering a duel with Exus. And Exus been a bit quiet this game. However, that is comparative to a train game where we've seen him absolutely dominating.
And with this AWP out, he's under more pressure as well. You have to play in more active angles here on Overpass, which is not to every AWPer's style. And as they, on the Big Academy side, look to creep up forward through Playground and Fountain, that AWP in the hands of Exus could become significant, but he's actually playing passively, watching the deeper angle out of Playground and using the one and only Famas up close. It's an aggressive A-hold, considering they have Arvis on A long as well. It's great news to defend A, but if Big Academy decide to collapse into B, the rotations are a long way away, which is why you're seeing players falling back into the site now.
Absolutely, and IZAKO BOARS going to have their work out for them. Crimbo, if he gets taken down, that's going to be the surprise in this B push. Will all be on Shui. He's had a great game so far. We'll have to see what else he can bring to the table. As one and only will be taken down instantly. The trade is there though. Shui able to find him as the push comes through. Shane's going to be there to help him out. The first kill's there. The second kill there as well. The third from Shui. The wombo combo is absolutely incredible. Hades fighting 2 of his own, but with just 20 HP remaining, a nade in the right place could spell the end for him. And as Avis comes up from behind, he's going to spot the bomb. He's going to realize that Hades is just going to have to run back into him as he'll fall on back towards that site. Yeah, and if Avis can do this properly, he might be able to deny a plant as well. Hades taking his time. Avis from behind, able to shoot him and secure IZAKO BOARS the 5th as they tie it up 5-5 on their CT side of Overpass.
That's definitely the tied scoreline they were hunting for, and the further they can extend it, perhaps the better here for the IZAKO BOARS as they look to try and dominate their opponents already on the map of Overpass. They're actually weaker on their T side than they are on their CT side, but the opposite is true for Big Academy. They are a side who are much stronger on this aggressive side of things, so it does bode very well for the IZAKO BOARS to be performing in this half. They need to put rounds up on their stronger side and make sure that the Big Academy don't have the opportunities to score when they're on their stronger side.
Absolutely, and Ecstasy's a bit trapped at the moment, forced back in towards Connector, and it has allowed the players from Big Academy to just push up from toilets, and there's not a single player from IZAKO BOARS on the safe site. I think they may have just realized that we're going to see 3 players on a quick rotation towards the site, and the bomb's there as well. This might be a free plant without any contestion whatsoever from IZAKO BOARS. And the one and only, he'll lose his head. So process, and that's the site. That's a massive miscommunication from the BOARS. And unfortunately, it does mean that Big Academy are most likely going to be able to get a plant out of this. Shane finding 2 on the other side of the map. The fake goes down. And as Shui finds Process, the only player left on that B site will be Karimbo. He'll pick up that A1S, pick up that bomb. And walk into the awaiting arms of Avis.
The engagement was occurring there over on the A bomb site, and they'd walk up it for free, but despite having free site control, the Big Academy just kept that bomb sat outside of Monster. They didn't move, and they were trying to use their other players to sell a fake on the A bomb site when there were no players there to defend against them. They were faking against no defenders. So when the fake did eventually come through, the rotations went over and started finding kills, but Big pulled the trigger on B, and there were still players there to defend. All I think it was Shane had to do was hold down left click in Monster. He got 2 huge kills and dropped the bomb, and there just wasn't enough time for Big to get anything done.
Absolutely. Exus finds Crimbo to open it up as well, and this is looking amazing for IZAKO BOARS. They've completely turned this half around. Coming out of Connector, he'll be found by Shui, and with that, the remaining players from Big Academy kind of spread out around the map. They do have 2 players towards Monster, but we've seen how strong the combo of Shane and Shui can be, as a follow-up push might be able to trade Hades there as he falls on back. However, timing is there. Panic's now aggressing from long. However, the one and only able to trade, taking him down. 2 versus 4 now. As Shui finds Anuin. Hades able to take him down, but he'll fall to just 8 HP. 1 versus 3 as he looks to come out of Monster. And Avis will be waiting for him. IZAKO BOARS make it 7.
7 guaranteed as they hunt for the advantage. And look at that scoreboard. It was 5 in a row from the Big Academy, and now 7 in a row from the IZAKO BOARS, who seem to be getting on a hot streak. And this timeout gives us the opportunity to talk about esports millions. If you check out at the Esports Bible on Twitter, their pinned tweet has a chance to win a Main Gear gaming PC. All you have to do is retweet and participate in esports millions. Round 2 of esports millions is now live, and this time Unicorn are offering everyone who participates a chance to win a Main Gear Vibe Stage 3 gaming PC, and the top 50 answers will share $5,000 worth of Unicorn bets. This is all just a lead up to the €1 million giveaway during Cups 3 and 4. Anyone who answers all 10 questions correctly will win that life-changing prize. You can head over to ukrn.io/esports millions and check out the Esports Bible on Twitter to find out how to participate in that one. The end of the timeout comes through, and it looks like Big didn't quite have enough time to talk and get their buy together as they depart spawn slightly late, and that's allowed the IZAKO BOARS to get some nice aggressive positions.
Absolutely. It looks like Panix hasn't bought at all, actually. Hades going to have an AK and armor, but Panix just going to be on a PC-50. As he looks to aggress in long, Exus going to find him. However, the kill won't quite be there. Exus pistol out, as it looks like Panix is just trying to maybe make some space. The remaining player's going to swing on wide. And it looks like Exus actually baited perfectly. Tao going to drop a smoke as well to buy himself some time. Anyway, coming in from behind. He'll be spammed down by Avis, though. As remaining players from Big Academy looking to push up towards long.
Just holding the site. That's all the IZAKO BOARS have to do at the moment. They know that long control was given to the Big Academy as soon as Exus got baited out there, and now they know Crimbo has an AWP as well because of the exact same reason that HE does decent damage onto the players on A long, continues to soften them up, and the one and only is working in tandem here with Shui to try and take rear bathrooms control and put a flank on the big side. They seem to expect, though, they might have retreated back towards B site. That appears to be what the IZAKO Boars are expecting. This triple boost from the big academy doesn't quite work out as they try and utilize it. They might not have had the right angles as they're trying to mount now and use this triple boost for a kill. This was first utilized by Na'Vi many years ago, and it might find them a kill in this round. Opener found on the A site, and now they have a chance to plant.
And I love that boost there. It's quirky, it's something you wouldn't quite expect, and it worked perfectly for them. The follow-up is Hades finding Shui as well, as it all falls down to Shane now. 1 versus 3, as Crimbo is able to take down the one and only. As the swing comes forward, attack comes through, Hades stares ahead of Shane, and they finally put an end to the IZAKO Boars' 7-round winning spree, as Big Academy find their 6th.
And with a very weird buy at that, it was all predicated just off of the long bait, and then the IZAKO Boars just tried to get a bit too clever, I think. They were trying to push for information, suspecting that it was going to be a B wrap that came in, and they were just completely wrong in their call. Everyone was aggressively up towards A long for the Big Academy side, and they just needed one kill towards long bathrooms to open up that A-bomb site, convert the boost into a second, and then they were just able to hold that defense. It was absolutely beautiful work, and this time the IZAKO Boars think about connector aggression, but are dissuaded away from it.
Absolutely, and the timing for them is absolutely perfect. We see Crimbo following them up not 5 seconds after, as Big Academy look to get B control, setting up for what could potentially be an execute here. Landing at IZAKO Boars' doorstep, it will be Shane and Shui. These two players have been absolutely phenomenal for the most part on this B site. We're actually going to see an aggression coming from Shane. He's probably going to hear that player drop as well. That nade landing right on those players' heads as the user starts stacking up. Avis now coming in from connector as well. Boost comes up. Process accidentally making a bit of noise. So jump up close onto Crimbo's head. So look to fight towards. What a shot from Avis there. That's an amazing 2K. Shui finding Aduin as well. And that push from Big Academy just being completely decimated. Panics now being that lone player, 1 versus 4.
Oh dearie me, for the Big Academy. They break the streak, but they can't get another round on the board. That's going to be 8 confirmed from the IZAKO Boars. Panics is backing as far away as he can to save this AWP and preserve their economy heading into the last of the half, and to try and avoid a 9-6 scoreline. They're heading over to the easier side of the map now, the CT side, but for them as individuals, it is their weaker half. The IZAKO Boars switching over would be desperate for that 9-6 scoreline, as they themselves aren't as comfortable on the T side of Overpass.
Absolutely. And IZAKO Boars make it ace. And again, I'm very curious to see how IZAKO Boars are going to play this T side. I suspect it'll be a very kind of methodical and slow half, and then at some point something's just going to click and they're going to start really speeding it up, at least based on confidence, at least, as I don't really see too many aggressive pushes on the CT side. At least I do see information pushes, but nothing that you would see, nothing that you see a label aggressive. As Big Academy now going to be setting up for, again, a bit of an A take. It will be a bit of noise made towards B short, though, just to keep these IZAKO Boars players in place. As the Molly and Smoke buys themselves a bit of time, but Avis now aggressing in long. And, well, I regret speaking, because Avis, exactly what I just said, I haven't seen. Aggression. As he comes up from long, he's going to take that point of contact. He might catch off that player. He will. Crimbo will fall, as he'll look to fall on back towards long toilets as well.
Doesn't aggress in through the deep bathrooms. That's the right decision, as Panics was holding it with an AWP ever so briefly. That's a missed shot from Exus, but he's not been punished with his life just yet. Arviz is here to stabilize as well with 2 huge kills and 2 huge headshots at that. Panics puts one down with an AWP, but he's now left alone as Exus has taken down his teammate, and it's the 1-on-4 to try and secure 9-6 for the young German AWPer. A minute on the clock to work with, but he still has to recover that bomb and crack into a site.
Absolutely, and the odds are so heavily stacked against him. IZAKO Boars all stacked up, ready to fight for that bomb. I suspect once one gets shot, all of them are going to seep out the woodwork. As Panics misses that first shot. Swing comes forward, he'll be taken down, and IZAKO BOARS make it 9 to 6. So they lead against Big Academy, switching to that T side of Overpass.
They switch over, and the Big Academy now desperate for that pistol round to try and tie up the scoreline and stay in the series. Remember, the winner advancing to the playoffs, and the loser has to play their 2-2 matchup later on to determine whether they'll be eliminated or whether they'll have a chance to continue throughout this tournament. And the IZAKO BOARS, they're looking to advance to the playoffs rather quickly with a 2-round victory here. Just the one and only with a smoke and 2 flashes as they charge quickly over towards the B site early on, taking the bomb into connector and looking to force an early pistol.
Absolutely, and again, it's actually going to be fairly aggressive from IZAKO BOARS, making noise in towards connector. As the swing comes wide, Panic's going to fall instantly. He realized that he was faced with a tidal wave of IZAKO BOARS players. Hades going to be trying to at least find some form of trade, but he'll be dinked down to 2 HP for his woes. As the push continues to come in from IZAKO BOARS, they just want to overwhelm this A site. Swing continuing to come forward. Hades finding 1. The trade is there from Exus though. The follow-up as well as the rotation comes through. Plant will come forward onto Optimus. As Grimbo slowly aggressing from back, he'll take down Avis. 3 versus 3 now for IZAKO BOARS. There's going to be a player on the flank as well, Process. He will be spotted by Shane though, as the swing comes around. He's also wary of the flank on the flanker. It is in the hands of the one and only. He'll tag down Process though. Exus in a really difficult position now. Process finds one more. Grimbo finds one of his own. Grimbo takes down Exus. As that bomb ticks down, Big Academy are going to be able to secure it, making themselves their 7th. As that round deficit reduced to just 2 rounds.
Well, you'd expect it to reduce to 0 now. The plant comes through, so the IZAKO BOARS should be looking at the eco for the full buy up into the follow-up round. Although, Exus has got quite a bit of cash. If they can get Galil's out now, they can contest, perhaps with greater firepower themselves, and try and force an early round victory. Exus with an AK, the one and only on a Galil. Shui can afford to drop an AK if he wanted to, but the whole team's just going to pick up Galil's armor and barely any utility. It's all on contact with just 3 smokes to work with, but they just about edge out firepower over their opponents.
Absolutely, and we're going to see here this buy from IZAKO BOARS is a strong one as well, as it will be AKs, and they have little to no utility though in their favor, as the players do fall back on a Big Academy. Panic's going to be there with a scout. We'll spot the long push coming forward. He'll tag down Avis before falling back all the way towards that side. Wouldn't surprise me if we end up seeing him enter bank as well. Actually, they choose to aggress into toilets. They spot quite a few players in long, and at least that way they're getting control elsewhere around the map. IZAKO BOARS again being fairly slow and methodical with how they push, not committing to anywhere too heavily now as they come up from toilets.
Panic's close range, lands the shot onto Arvis and takes only minor damage as a result. Jane just making sure that nobody is flanking through connector, but there are 3 players in this A site. That is beautiful from Shui to find completely blind. He had the shot lined up before, and look at that damage as well in the corner. He's finished it off with the Galil now at close range. There's just 1 player left in this site. It's Grimbo with an M4, and he's fallen away. Exus tries to deal damage, but these frags have come through from Process as well, who's pushed up through connector and dealt with all of the holding players. That's Anuin rather. Process on the site, tagged to 24, but Shui, he tries to run away, and Process expects it. The IZAKO BOARS, it started off brilliantly, and then once again, just like the pistol round, the Big Academy came straight back into it.
Absolutely, that round control falling straight out of their hands. That was a great 2K from Grimbo there, but the best part about that was Process knowing when to aggress. He knew that the second that Grimbo has to fall, he has to take that initiative, and he was able to find that 3rd kill, which just cemented Big Academy's return into that round. Of course, they had the player on the flank, and that allowed IZAKO BOARS to lose another player. As Big Academy, a great read from them, and it does force IZAKO BOARS onto just pistols now. We'll see a Tech 9. And Alice trying to push down Panics, but he'll win that duel any day of the week.
I almost wonder at this point why they left the rifler so aggressively in connector. As soon as you have site control, just leaving 1 player to watch the flank is theoretically enough there. But the past is the past, and now the IZAKO BOARS can only hope for deagle shots in this one. Hades and Process continuing to open up throughout the map, and it looks like there's nothing this T side can do about the tied scoreline whatsoever. It is going to be 9 apiece, and the Big Academy look like they're going to have a call to make in this next round. Do they want to go with the bonus, having kept these MP9s and FAMASs to hand, or are they going to upgrade to deal with the incoming full gun round?
It looks like Panics and Crimbo going to be playing bonus with the FAMAS and MP9 held onto. IZAKO BOARS, on the other hand, we're going to see that AWP come out in the hands of Exus. There are many players going to be holding on to AKs. As we see IZAKO BOARS going out into a fairly A-heavy default. That Molly going down from Big Academy, allowing them to just get a bit of A control. That nade stack as well, going to do a fair bit of damage. Actually, not that much to Exus. He's able to get up and close. As Big Academy, after throwing all that utility on mid, they have actually just fallen back towards maybe Guardian and Sight, which is a bit passive for my liking, but granted it is just an MP9, you're not going to be able to do much at range. As Crimbo going to spot that player in connector, Avis going to probably end up with a little exchange through the wood there.
Well, Shui from the IZAKO BOARS side, he's the first player trying to aggress in mid, but that flash is perfect for Panics, and it's taken down Shui and his AK for completely nothing. Completely free kill afforded to the CT side, as there's nobody anywhere near Shui to attempt for the refrag. And now the IZAKO BOARS are going to push down towards the B site, but this boost gives Big Academy vision up to long, so they can send a third player over to defend.
Absolutely, and Avis going to lead the push here towards Process, actually, as the man falls back. Avis opening up, finding Crimbo. Second great kill onto Process. That opening is absolutely phenomenal for IZAKO BOARS. Tao going to be able to drop the bomb, though. Anuin will find him, as Hades finds Avis as well. Anuin finds Extus, and Anuin has done all it takes to secure the round for Big Academy. Shane finding one. Shane, knowing that second player towards CTE, doesn't know where the third is, though. And that is a reason to be scared. Fake of the plant comes out, 10 seconds left. He's going to hear those players aggressing. He won't find either. Panics takes down Shane, and Big Academy take the lead. 10-9, something we haven't seen them do since they were 5-0 up at the very start of the game.
I don't know what the IZAKO BOARS were thinking in that round. They had multiple players on the B bomb site, and they decided to send the one player, the one and only, on his own with the bomb on his back to clear Monster, completely isolated and with no utility to flash him in or anything at all. They just gave the bomb away completely for free towards the Big Academy for no reason. They could have just planted safe pillar or deep in the site or anything else, but instead they sent it out on its own towards Monster, and they lost the round because of it. That was a critical tactical blunder, and now they're forced down onto the pistols as the Big Academy are entering more comfortable and comfortable territory to send us to a map 3.
Absolutely, and as the lineup comes through from Big Academy, will be that famous Australian spear execute as the push comes through. Process falling on away from these flashes. It's a quick kill, actually. The one and only, and Shui trading, well, walking all over that B hits. There is a trade there, of course, from Anuin, but that's nothing. Those deagles working absolutely perfectly. The execution works amazingly. The bomb will go down, and Panics unable to find an exiting player means that the likelihood is here Big are going to be saving, and well, that was exactly what Big Academy needed there.
Exactly what the IZAKO BOARS needed on the T side.
Exactly what the IZAKO BOARS needed. Yes.
They win that force after a critical mistake as well, and it's important that they do it and equalize the scoreline. They really face the prospect there of just allowing their opponents to build up that economic momentum on the CT side, string a bunch of rounds together. But even though the Big Academy are going to be able to get a full buyout in the next round of the CT side, they're going to have to be dropping their teammates and things like that, and it's just going to be draining the bank a little bit more, keeping it under control and manageable, because the last position you want to be in as the IZAKO BOARS is, let's say you do show up now and get on a hot streak on your T side. You don't want to start getting on a hot streak when your opponents have enough cash to get 3 or 4 buys in a row on the board. So just keep that economy under wraps, and eventually you will start to streak rounds together if you can defeat the 4 buys.
Absolutely, and we are going to see some mid control coming through from Big Academy. Actually, I'll say that they seem to have faked the utility. IZAKO BOARS instantly extinguishing it and going for another 3-man boost. We see now they favor these towards B short. I'm not quite sure if it made noise though, as Crimbo be holding firm, waiting for that push to come on through. And the one and only, if he's able to spot Rifle peeking over here. He's going to be in an amazing position.
It's so dangerous at the moment. That boost doesn't find anything and takes a lot of time, but it looks like there might be technical problems. There's been no damage dealt in the round, and everybody starts to be passively backing off towards their spawn, so I'm expecting a technical pause to come out at some point during this round and it not to be played out for the remainder. Either way, it looks like there's going to be no action occurring in this round at minimum, and the Big Academy, I suppose, are rather lucky that their triple boost didn't get spotted there, because now they can try it again with no real consequence.
The worry I have for them, actually, is that the one and only has been in connector. He may have heard it, as we do see 4 versus 5 now. The remaining players for IZAKO BOARS just going to be hiding towards connector. That last player being disconnected, so we will see a restart come through very, very soon. And the one and only may have heard that push in connector, or well, from connector. He may have heard that boost. He may have heard them drop down after the technical timeout was caused, which could be absolutely phenomenal for IZAKO BOARS as they're able to pre-fire it. Granted, it's a fairly shady way of figuring it out, but what can you do if a player's timed out?
Indeed, and listen, in those scenarios, you've got to use any competitive advantage you can get. It's a similar argument to when the crowds are making noise at LAN events, you know, when players are tracing through walls and stuff like that. And it's like, well, yes, okay, the one and only has heard that information now. Let's say he has. He might not have even, but let's assume that he has done that. Are you just going to expect him not to use that information now that he's got it? Like, his team want to win the game. They would actually like to make the playoffs here 2-0 and avoid going to nuke where the Big Academy have an opportunity to overturn them. So having heard that sound, there's nothing anybody can do about him choosing to utilize it or not. That's just, you know, unfortunate that the round has played out the way it has. You'd have to be suggesting at that point in time that the IZAKO BOARS intentionally disconnected somebody to try and get in that sound cue. But the likelihood and the such minor advantage that would gain you is so preposterous that it's just going to have to be one of those things. The Big Academy now are going to have to gamble. Do they risk it? Because, listen, at the end of the day, they should know there could be players close range that could have heard it themselves. It's up to them to decide whether they want to recommit to that boost.
Absolutely, and, you know, you can't really use it against the IZAKO BOARS, because if they were intentionally disconnecting a player to hear if one of the Big Academy players were boosting, if they already had that suspicion, why not just check it when you come out of connector? And
exactly,
because if it's a 3-man boost, there's no way they're going to have control from sandbags. They wouldn't stack 4 players just to watch short. And so I suspect that IZAKO BOARS just may have got lucky timing if Tao heard this, or if the one and only heard this. But again, looking at the distance he was, maybe he didn't, and that has to be playing on Big Academy's mind.
Yeah, that's the main factor to consider. We're having this whole debate about this, you know, theory craft around ethical usage of sound cues. He might not even have heard it. He might have just been too far away, and they might have dropped down, you know, after the pause was called through and he backed away somewhat. It might have absolutely no significance over this round whatsoever. But what might have significance in this round is the currently timed out player of Shane. He's been performing as one of the top fraggers for the IZAKO BOARS side so far in today's matchup, and it would be a real nightmare if he was having connection problems now that troubled his efforts throughout the remainder of the series.
Absolutely, and it couldn't come at a worse time. You know, this would be IZAKO BOARS' chance to close it out. If we look at the statistics, they're more likely to win Overpass than they are Nuke. Right? Their Nuke, it's good, but it's not strong. Whereas Big Academy, they excel on Nuke. This veto favors them. So, in order for IZAKO BOARS to really show themselves, they really want to ideally take map 2 here. As we do have to wait and see if Shane's going to continue to have connection issues.
Well, we do have an opportunity to at least have a bit of a further discussion about the scores on the doors. It's Hades leading the way for the Big Academy with 20 kills. Highest fragger in the server. so far. Arvis trying to keep up with him closely on the IZAKO BOARS side with Shane and Shui on 16 apiece. It looks like he has reconnected to the server now, and hopefully without too high a ping, you'd have to imagine, or any loss or anything like that. That would be absolutely horrible for him to deal with going forward, and absolutely horrible for the IZAKO BOARS to deal with, as he's one of their top fraggers.
Absolutely, and again, we look at these scores on the doors, and Hades, his B takes, his position on the big default for T side at least would be him to going towards short, and seeing him taking more and more positions away from IZAKO BOARS. We see him get a 3K, 2K, even sometimes a 4K when he's opening up that B site. Just unrelentless control, and I think that mastery of well, short and B is really what's helped Big Academy get into this.
I'd certainly say so. As the rounds are reverted, the unpause is called. And the IZAKO BOARS need to string momentum together. That is the critical factor of this half. When you look at the round scores, it's been 4 in a row for the Big Academy on that CT side, with just 1 loss taken at the moment. Now, for the IZAKO BOARS perspective, they need to avoid any kind of defensive momentum being built up by their opponents, and they need to streak some rounds together now. Big Academy going aggressively to try and win some back.
Absolutely, and we see actually, I believe that's Hades, the man we've just been talking about, on that aggressive position in Fountain, and he would have easily enjoyed a shooting range at the moment. However, it does fall down to a turnaround from IZAKO BOARS coming to this B site. That's perfect for them. It will literally just be Anuan holding this site. He'll find one, he'll fall as Shane takes him down. The other man we've been speaking about from IZAKO BOARS, that plant's going to go through. 4 versus 4 retake now as Big Academy look to, well, save, really. They see that the bomb's gone down, they look at their economy, and do you really want to risk it? We've got only one player above 1,000, and that's Panics with that expensive AWP. Losing any guns here from Big Academy would be absolutely detrimental to their resolve, as IZAKO BOARS winning with a bomb plant, also helping them massively. Exus and Shane gonna have more than 4K, able to drop their teammate of Avis, who unfortunately fell during this round.
Every rifle lost at the end of this round is one less rifle that the Big Academy can bring forward into the next one. But the IZAKO BOARS themselves haven't got the best economy. They'd rather build it up and ensure they can have multiple gun rounds strung together, rather than lose all their players hunting towards the end of this round, have to reinvest, then lose and be dropped down onto an eco. That would be a nightmarish scenario indeed. If they can get 3 in a row now, the IZAKO BOARS, and take some more of these rifles away, they have the opportunity. They can force the Big Academy down onto an eco at some point in time, and it's likely it would have to come through in the next round for that to be the case.
Absolutely, and again, Big Academy able to buy into this fairly successfully, but they are still facing the prospect of a reset, and it looks like we are going to see that 3-man boost come out again. However, IZAKO BOARS going to the other bomb site. It's the Academy, unfortunately, just getting unlucky with their positioning, and then the relative execution of IZAKO BOARS. We saw a 4-man stack towards A to get control last round, and then IZAKO BOARS just went B as the push comes forward from long. Hades going to be that point of contact, and we are going to see Crimbo rotate away just in the nick of time as IZAKO BOARS looking to line up an execution on towards this A site. Hades will still continue to be the point of contact as Crimbo does show up to support him.
IZAKO BOARS are taking no risks at all, clearing out bathrooms. Every possible angle that the Big Academy could be waiting in is one which the IZAKO BOARS want to deploy utility. The one and only found the opening kill of the round onto Crimbo, and the Big Academy are yet to reply. Utility is going to stall this Polish advance, and there's still a healthy amount of utility available as well. It looks as though they're using Anuin to hold solo on B, 3 stacked up on the A site, and the IZAKO BOARS looking to explode out.
Absolutely, 30 seconds left, and the execution is going to come on through, though. Smolly's being dropped by Big Academy. Hades now going to have to go huge. Unfortunately, from behind, Shui's able to take him down. Process now going to be that point of contact. The push comes out. Panics, AWP in hand, will find Shui to trade. That FAMAS ringing true as Process looks to fall back into the smoke. The shots rattling out as Tao and Avis both finding kills. It all falls down to Anuin, and he's going to A save again. As Big Academy completely shut down on that A site. They've lost the guns. They've been completely reset. And IZAKO BOARS, they found their 12th. But in the process, because of the economic gains they've gained from this, it means that they're in line to get their 13th as well.
They should be. It's going to be a really tough call from the Big Academy. I think in this next round, it's going to be a pistol armor round from the CTs because their loss bonus is pretty much going to be maximum. I think it's 4 losses in a row, maybe 3 in a row that they'll have sustained off of the back of this one, which is going to give them a hearty loss bonus even if they don't have enough to invest. So they might just drop down to around 2k, keep the pistols and armor together, and then look for that full investment. Now, that should be the 13th round for the IZAKO BOARS. You are absolutely correct. And as we get a more full assessment of the money, I reckon that is what will occur. Process maybe will drop some upgraded pistols, but everybody looking to stay above 2,500 or thereabouts, I think, to get this 2,900 loss bonus in and secure full rifles and utility for the Big Academy.
Absolutely, and there it is. Steals and armor coming out. Anuin's going to be that, well, catalyst for Big Academy. If he can do something huge with it, then I guess Big Academy will take it. They'll use it to accelerate. Oh, they do have armor on Hades, so maybe pick up a fallen gun. However, if he can't get 2 or 3 kills in this round, then it might be a write-off.
It's a completely different strategy from the IZAKO BOARS this time. They predict that the Big Academy are going to go aggressive somewhere. And knowing that they couldn't save at the end of that last round, they anticipate it's pistols that'll be walking into them. That's why Abyss is just waiting atop this ladder to punish any aggressing Academy players as they look to push further into Connector. The Polish side gain map control themselves towards A, and the one and only has found the second kill for his team in the round. And now walking to Anuin's crosshairs, who has the only M4, but now taken down. The threat that Big Academy posed in this round is greatly reduced. Panics' flank could yield a kill or more with the P250, but it's just a one and done as now both him and a teammate are smoked off, and that bomb is recoverable by the T's.
And again, it looks like Panic's actually living true to his name there, and panicked a little bit once he heard his teammate coming down the stairs from behind him, as they are able to retrieve an AK and potentially get the odd exit here or there. But IZAKO BOARS going to allow that plant to come on out. X is going to be holding a swing from Connector as that first player's found. It's all on Crimbo, and from that angle he might look to only just find one. The remaining players from IZAKO BOARS going to be just exiting with relative ease. That bomb is going to go off, and their money is going to look so strong going into future rounds. If they continue to win rounds, they probably won't have to worry, economically at least, until the end of the game.
If they win the next round, that is certainly the case. At 13-10 up at this point, I think they have buys to sustain them to the point of a tied scoreline. And that's just about as far as they can get with loss bonus at this point. Maybe they could still try and deny Big getting 14 if they were to streak rounds together. This is just in a worst case cash scenario. But either way, it's very strong money for the IZAKO BOARS T side, and it's a very dangerous prospect for the Big Academy. The last 4 rounds won by bomb plant by the IZAKO BOARS as well, which is great news money-wise. And as these full guns come out, this could potentially be Big's last opportunity to stay in Overpass. They lose this, it's 14-10, and they'll be looking down onto a definitely weakened buy to try and deny map point.
Absolutely, and we are going to see the IZAKO BOARS now stacked up outside that B site. Again, weak buy coming through from Big Academy. Only having to go down to, well, 100 on almost all of them. Crimbo going to be the only player with relative ease. As you see, Shui going to be leading the charge in towards B short, seeing what they can find. As IZAKO BOARS, this is a similar setup we saw when they only had pistols, and it worked perfectly. As the line goes out, they're walking into a stack though. 4 players are waiting from Big Academy. The set piece goes out. The mollies and flashes go out to follow. The one and only going to be that point of contact, but again, the site's been cut in half. The push comes through. Hades finding one, Process finding one of his own. Shane trading. Crimbo finding Shane. As Avis and the one and only now going to be the remaining players for IZAKO BOARS. Anuin finds one. Anuin finds 2 as he goes through that smoke, and Big Academy make it 11.
The IZAKO BOARS misread that one and just walk straight into the 4-man stack of the B bomb site, and they get torn apart by it as well. They have cash to buy in this round guaranteed, and they'll certainly have enough to buy in the next round as well, should they end up losing this, because players will drop over, and of course they'll have that loss bonus available. But that was a very important round for the Big Academy to win, and a rather comfortable one for them to win as well monetarily. With 4 players staying alive, they only have to reinvest on 1, leaving their economy in a decent enough position to continue to buy as well. They've bought themselves the lifeline, but now they need to utilize it for victory here, as Nuke is going to be no easy battleground either.
Absolutely. And again, that's the opening that Big Academy needed. Finding Shui to open it up instantly, as the IZAKO boards again spread out as a bit of a default. We see them kind of conversing together on towards toilets here, and actually as the one and only pushes through from that smoke here, may catch Crimbo off guard, especially considering how close he is. He's going to spot that player, drop that molly, and fall on back, waiting for the push to come through, as the one and only will fall. The follow-up kills going there, as Crimbo finds Avis as well. Follow-up continuing to go off as Panics finds one, Shane finds the other. Shane finding Hades before he falls, as Panics able to take him down.
Those are 2 back-to-back confident site defenses from the Big Academy there. No chance of the IZAKO Boars even trying for a bomb plant, as Crimbo allows them absolutely nothing. 3 huge kills, or rather 2 before he gets taken down, but it might as well have been 3. The impact was so important, and now the Big Academy are actually calling a timeout despite winning those last 2 rounds. They know that they probably do want to gamble stack a bomb site here, just to give themselves the bigger opportunity of winning things out. If they lose, they can still save forward, and it won't be map point against them. Because if they default, they just run the risk of the IZAKO Boars trampling over them with excess numbers and utility, and then utilizing that contact-heavy playstyle to secure the round.
Absolutely, and that's just working beautiful for them. This contact-heavy, well, it was working beautiful for them. Into them as they aggress even further, as we do see Big Academy again going into connector now, looking to invade and fight Avis for it. That molly and smoke will buy a bit of time, however that molly will fade before the smoke does. Process actually
a lot of damage as well at the start of this round. Brilliant there from Panic, securing that shot. And the IZAKO Boars, this is the problem. They come back into a position where they look like they'll be able to retake, and there's 1 critical round they have to win. They walk into a stack, and from there, that's all the momentum their opponents needed. It's boost versus boost at the moment. By the looks of things, as Avis is trying to creep over to this B site. It's this time the lightly more defended site for them to work with, but still they have to land these opening shots.
Exactly, I think X is maybe slightly wary of that player towards ABC. Anyone taking contact, he'll find the one and only Avishane able to trade. Process able to trade himself, and he'll be able to fall back. He'll fall back to ABC after getting that initial kill. It goes into a 2 versus 4 now for the IZAKO Boars, and as Panics finds Avis, Panics having really woken up in these last few rounds as well. Making it all down to X as the swing comes forward. He'll spot that first player, however, Panics will find him. And Panics really being the star player in these most recent rounds for Big Academy. We've seen him for I think, the last 3 or 4 rounds. He's been able to instantly open it up for Big Academy with some very fast kills and falling away before he's able to get traded.
Just working out brilliantly on the defense. We talked about how important CT side AWPers are, and Panics, the man tasked with handling the big green gun, certainly has been stepping up in the last few rounds. I told you that the IZAKO Boars just about had enough cash to sustain them buys until the tied scoreline. Well, here it is. Big Academy have tied it up, and now they're the team who don't look like stopping. They're the side who are building the economic momentum, and they're the side who've won the last 3 rounds back to back. IZAKO Boars, what option do they have?
As he panics again on this long angle. It's worked so well for him this time, though. Unable to find that kill. He'll repeat, though, almost, actually. Trying his luck with Sui there. That nade's going to force him back as the follow-up push comes through Exus. Eagle in hand. Ready to fight any play on the other side of that smoke. And actually, Big Academy progressing towards Monster. That's where the bomb is. Avis finds one, but he needs to be very, very careful with that bomb in his hands. The timing isn't there. Shane finds Process. That's the push continuing to ring on out. Crimbo's able to take down Shane as the follow-up kills go either way. Crimbo, a very confident dive out, but the one and only able to take him down. Panics finds Sui on the other side of the map. And these players have very low HP. That nade only doing 1 damage to the one and only. He was able to fall away just in time.
The Boars were in a lot of trouble there. They were trying to sell a fake towards A, but ended up contacting straight into B and working it out after they won the opening gunfights. That left them with thin defenses and a real opportunity to lose control of the bomb. 2 players low HP now. This is a feasible retake, 100% for the Big Academy, but now with the one and only earning that kill, that is it all said and done for Panics. 14-13 and the lead given to the IZAKO Boars as the Big Academy have to invest into the next round to deny map point. It's very, very close towards the end of this map. And if today is anything to go by, it could mean that overtime is on the cards.
Absolutely. And again, IZAKO Boars just 1 round away from securing overtime. We're going to see a full buy come out from them. Both teams, though, their economy, good, but could be better. Hades going down to just 50. However, Big Academy, they do have 3k, well, on Panics, which could potentially be a drop next round as well, if they're able to. Now, IZAKO Boars, let me stacked up. It's the same default we've seen working for them fairly well, and Big Academy, the 3rd time now they go for this 3-man boost, watching short. Panics opening up again as he finds Shane.
It's the gamble strategy from the Big Academy, and it could work out beautifully. The one and only has no idea what to expect, and it's both opening kills going the way of the German side. Already at this point, they struggle to move into B. 3 left alive. They're going to try and commit to the heavier stack bomb site are the Poles, but right now it's just passive angles from the Big Academy. They don't want to give any kills away, and they don't want to provide the Polish side with a way into this B bomb site.
Absolutely, and as this push comes through, it will be on Big Academy to try and hold it, and you know, the odds are fairly heavily in their favor. The nades go off, the push comes through, and Process tags down that first player. The follow-up there, he'll take down Exodus. It's all on Zhui now, 1 versus 5, as he cowers in towards the back of Monster, hoping to maybe catch the odd player off guard, but as Hades finds him, Big Academy make it 14, and this game getting agonizingly close now for IZAKO Boars.
Take a look at their economy as well. They can't have a buy in this round. They have to take the eco, and I don't know why they chose both players to take this engagement. That's a really tough angle to win. Even though you have the high ground, there's just such a slither of a CT up against you. Either way, oh my word, if they forced into this round, that was not what I was expecting. Exus has found an AWP out of nowhere in his hands as just some kind of hero sniper to try and carry them through. This is going to be map point to the Big Academy. You have to anticipate, and the Polish side now fighting to take us into overtime on map 2.
And I'm really surprised by that buy of an AWP. It's going to have to be a massive hero play from Exus if they want any chance of either buying or having a chance in the next round. Panics will fall back. The duel will be between Exus and Panics for the safe site, and Panics, he's been really feeling it these last few rounds. He's been getting kill after kill. So Exus maybe wants to prove something against him. This is really the time for it, as at 14-14, IZAKO Boards want to close it out in 2 maps. We can see Panics now aggressing towards toilets. Exus potentially wary of this as he shifts on forward. This Pik comes in, and Exus wins the duel. Panics falls, and that is just what IZAKO Boards need.
No players on this squad have body armor, though, including this AWP. Hades knows he can aggress into the toilets and hide from his opposing sniper rifle. This is just a Glock he has to face into. Tech9's ahead with very little armor, but the one and only's found damage. Crimbo has an AWP in hand, but in bank he's not been able to use it, so this should be a plant at least. There surely shouldn't be a way that the Big Academy lose control of this round unless Exus continues fragging out with his AWP. It's a 2-on-3 situation now with no rifles recovered by the IZAKO Boars pistols at all, and still no body armor to work with. The one and only on just a Glock. Aggression. Oh dear, Zhui. He's found that kill. Exus on the AWP has found the next shot. Big Academy, that was a full eco with a glass cannon AWP against you, and it's defeated you with a huge triple kill.
And that is an incredible buy from Exus there. That AWP, I doubted it, but that single-handedly found the map point. Big Academy now. That must have shook them to the core to be almost... Does it count as an eco? As Exus, all he has to do is get the utility to support that AWP, as a timeout will come through from IZAKO Boars, and it has been absolutely amazing. for the IZAKO Boarrs here. Everything working perfectly in their favor.
Indeed. That is, you almost feel, could that be mistakes? Just peeking one at a time. Really, you have to commend the IZAKO Boarrs for that. They only had an AWP to work with. There's a degree of individual mistakes being made by the Big Academy side for sure, but really to still find that takes an incredible effort from the T side. It's not easy to put yourself in the correct positioning time and time again with that AWP, but Exus got it done, and now his teams have rifles and the sniper to work with. And his opponents slowly draining their utility well at the beginning of this round, and they look like they're trying to aggress towards Monster as well. Anuing going to deploy a smoke to protect himself, but he is in danger at the moment, as are the Big Academy of being 2-0'd if they let this round fall away. IZAKO, they want to attack this B site, and this time it's stacked with 3 players.
Absolutely, that flash going to go out. Anuing now going to be that point of contact. He's found it. Shane instantly takes him down. The trade's there. Brosius able to trade it though. Shane finding him. His second of the round now. Hades finding one more onto Avis. He's going to fall on away. Crimbo going to be hiding in water. He'll be found by the one and only. Hades taken down by Exus. It's all on Panics. 1 versus 3 to secure the game, or to secure overtime for Big Academy and IZAKO Boarrs. They've fought long and hard for this map. Can Panics prevent them from closing it out? He's going to shift on forward from CT. He'll be flashed off instantly. Hasn't made noise yet. That flash will give his position away. The push will come on out.
He's still trying to aggress. The 1 versus 3. He's looking to deal the damage, and he's found the first AWP shot as well. Panics, but he can't swing round the corner and secure the second, despite the valiant effort from the Big Academy.
Спасибо всем за просмотр, друзья, подписчики. Спасибо огромное за лайки, за подписки. Ну вот такой вот матч вышел, конечно, ИЗАКО 2-0 взяли. Ну красавчики, что тут сказать. Давайте ждем следующий матч, он будет через 20, жду всех, всем спасибо.
With a 3-1 scoreline, and the Big Academy dropping down into that 2-2 match.
Absolutely, and again, that was an amazing effort from IZAKO Boarrs there. Again, I want to highlight just that opening on Train. It was such dominance, it was such prowess on Train. It really shows that they've almost mastered the map. And I think if you're able to get such a large lead on that opening map, it was just a matter of time before that confidence carried over to Overpass. And granted, all credit where credit's due to Big Academy. They made it extremely close. Unfortunately, it just wasn't enough.
Well, congratulations to the IZAKO Boarrs then. Who are your team advancing to the playoffs off the back of this series? There is, of course, plenty more CS on this stream to watch later on today. So make sure that you don't go anywhere and stay tuned to watch this. Obviously,